So now that I've removed the front mount, I'm gonna put in the new one. And this is the difference. So the old mount is like this. Never been replaced before. I just bought a set to change them because the passenger side and the transmission wasn't good. So I just chose to change all of them. And everything looks good. Same wiring. And same wiring. Now I'm gonna put this one in. And then I'm gonna tighten it and then release the engine so I can lift up the engine some more to remove the one in the back. Now that I've put in the front mount, I'm gonna tighten the bolts back up. Once I've tightened the bolts back into it, then I'm gonna release the jack and then start on removing the one in the back. So I got the jack right here, and I have the jack on in between the engine and the transmission. So now that I've put in the bolts, what I'm gonna do is, before I put this bolt back in, right, it doesn't go in because the engine is up too much. So I'm gonna lower down the engine. I have not tightened these in. I just put them in to hold it, to keep everything in place. Don't tighten everything until everything is properly in place. Once I've released the engine a little bit, right, I'm able to start to put this bolt back in. If it feels too tight, the threading is too tight, you just jack up the engine a little bit to give more room, to make it a bit more free. Anytime you're putting in parts and the bolts and it feels too stiff, you just have to jack it up to give it more room so it can be freely. So now that everything is properly connected, I'm gonna connect back the sensor back to the mount. And now I'm gonna tighten everything. All right, so this mount has been put in. It's not tightly put in, it just secure in just to hold the pressure of the engine while I jack up the back for the rear mount. So for the front, I have placed the jack right here, closest to the front mount. Now for the back, right, I have placed the mount closest to the back of the engine and the transmission. You want to make sure you connect to the engine so you can raise the engine up to lift it off of the mount, so to remove the mount. So you have to put the mount, you have to put the jack in two different positions to lift up the mount for the back and for the front. Now that I've jacked it up, now that it's all jacked up, I'm going to remove it now. Okay, cool. I'm gonna disconnect the sensor off of this mount because this sensor somewhere is broken, it's not coming off, and then put it back in, the new one. So before you can remove the mount of the rear, you're gonna have to move the support mount for the strut. So this frame has to be taken out of the way first to take out this mount. So yeah, just in case you're changing your mounts, right, and your clip is broken off, you can still disconnect the mount from the engine, and when you take it out, you can use a flathead. You can use a flathead and press it in here and you get it released. Just apply pressure and pull it out, and just like that, it will come out. And then just connect it to the new one.
I got her. Okay.
You connect it to the new one, and that's it. All you have to do now is put it back into the car. That's it. Alright, so now I put the mount back in. What I'm gonna do now is the same thing I did with the front. I'm gonna reposition everything properly before I tighten the bolts in. Alright, so now, let me see. Now that everything has been put back in, this bolt is tightened securely. I'm gonna tighten the other bolts. Then I'm gonna put the covering back on. Put on the covering, and then tighten the covering back down. And then I'm gonna put the top frame back on, and then I'm gonna finish the front. Then I move on to the transmission next. So all I'm doing now is I am just putting back the covering on the mount back together. This right here, the covering for it, the back. Then I put on the back frame back on. Now that I'm done with the back, I put on back the frame and everything. It's time to finish the front. So I'm gonna finish making sure that they're tight. And then I'm gonna put back on the EGR pipe with the gasket that fell off for it. And then put the fence back in, and that will be it for the front and the rear mount. So I'm just gonna put the pipe back on. And that's gonna be it. If I put on the pipe, I'll just make sure I put this back. Easy for myself. For up here, it's first best to catch this with a boat and then catch the bottom part.